This is VITALS, Visionary Health Leadership in Action.
Welcome everyone to VITALS Podcast. VITALS is an acronym representing value, innovation, technology, advocacy, leadership, and service. And these are the tools used by transformational leaders to initiate change to improve healthcare in the U.S. NEOMED's VITALS is a monthly health leadership series in collaboration with university hospitals. This episode will feature Jessica Sublett, President and CEO of Bounce Innovation Hub.
I really appreciate you having me here today. I'm excited to talk about something that I'm really passionate about, and that's collaboration. In my own work, I've leaned into collaboration to drive forward progress and help build a vibrant ecosystem. As a leader of an innovation hub, I firmly believe in the value of partnerships over empire building. Partly because I know that I, nor my organization, can do this work alone, but also because the knowledge share that's gained through collaborations will take you further than you originally imagined. In Stephen Covey's famous book titled The Speed of Trust, he states that business moves at the speed of trust, stressing that trusted relationships are critical for any high-performance, successful organization. Trust is a catalyst that accelerates business, promoting collaboration, efficiency, and adaptability. Businesses that prioritize and cultivate trust are better positioned to thrive in a rapidly evolving and competitive environment. In other words, people make things happen for those they trust. If business moves at the speed of trust, then healthcare innovations accelerate when trusted collaborations exist. True collaborations are action-oriented. They are more than formal partnerships or affiliations. Rather, collaborations are a commitment to building something together. While we all know that competition drives a free market economy, competitive environments and innovative settings can hurt progress. A March 2022 Forbes article cited that the science behind why collaborative environments increase productivity. In a study by evolutionary biologist William W. Muir, experiments in livestock breeding determined that competition among domesticated plants or animals can have a dramatic negative impact on yield of a standard farm. Muir found that breeding designed to produce more passive rather than competitive hens eventually allowed the chickens to become healthier and produce more eggs than they previously did. This was in large part because the more passive chickens were no longer aggressively competing with each other for food or other resources. The chickens, like us, have a common goal. For the chickens, it's to lay more eggs. For us, it's to accelerate healthcare innovations through the commercialization process. When we're working together, we all win because we're not so directly competing for resources. Now, this is not to say that commercializing a healthcare technology is not competitive. It's highly competitive, and you will most certainly be competing for limited resources. However, the environment for innovating is substantially more productive when it's infused with collaboration.
Collaborating is important, but how do you create an environment where collaboration thrives?
I'm a student of the Kauffman Foundation's entrepreneurial ecosystem building theory, which believes that innovation thrives in dense networks. Collectively, we can drive more impact than we can alone. The Kauffman Foundation believes that a thriving entrepreneurial ecosystem includes several key elements, but the one most relevant for my points today is around culture. In the Foundation's most recent Ecosystem Builders Playbook, they share that an ecosystem culture that is rich in social capital, the networks, norms, and social trust that facilitate coordination and cooperation for mutual benefit is like rocket fuel for entrepreneurial growth. An ecosystem will struggle without a culture of collaboration, cooperation, and trust that inspires people to move quickly, help each other, and be open to novel ideas. Creating a collaborative culture for innovation doesn't have to be difficult. In my mind, there are three essential components to building this collaborative, trusting environment. First, we have to define winning as a group. What do we want to accomplish? What does success look like? What do we each want to get out of this? Certainly, there's a greater good component, but skin in the game and tangible incentives keep collaborators motivated and committed. For example, a medical device entrepreneur ultimately wants to grow their business and hopefully one day be acquired. Hospital systems may want to increase efficiencies and reduce costs. However, both want to help clinicians deliver high quality, effective, and efficient patient care that improves outcomes. Each party has their own definition of winning, but they come together for a common goal that supports the entire collaboration. When we're honest with each other about our expectations and how winning will impact our own institutions, we better understand each other's motivations and we strengthen our commitment to each other. The second component to know is to know what you are and know what you're not. There's a tendency to think that we can be all things to all people. There's certainly a time and place for expansion, new opportunities, filling unmet needs, but there's tremendous value, not to mention opportunity, in understanding if there are others who may be better suited to fill this void. For a collaboration to really work, you need to be honest with yourself and your collaborators about what you're good at and where your weaknesses may lie. Honesty and transparency build trust among partners. There's also a psychological warm, fuzzy feeling when you know that you're helping someone. It doesn't always have to be rooted in altruism, particularly if there's a win in it for you, but feeling appreciated strengthens the bond between people. It helps satisfy our longing for healthy attachment. When we understand the role we play in an ecosystem, we value the roles that others play. We start to form the foundation of trust that enables us to move quickly in our joint work. And then we need to take it a step further. We need to move from collaboration to coordination. This part is important. How can we align strategies, budgets, and personnel to accomplish our shared and individual goals? How do we embed this collaboration into the fabric of our individual work so that it remains a priority? When we open up our strategies, our budgets, and our teams to support one another, we not only strengthen the relationship between organizations, but we more effectively utilize and leverage resources. We create more opportunities for new ideas to flourish through creative brainstorming across broader teams, and we increase the speed for new solutions. These can be accomplished when we take the time to build relationships. And I'm certain everyone understands the value that their network brings.
So we've learned about the importance of collaboration and cooperation, but what does that really mean for healthcare innovation?
Now, the fun part is that healthcare innovation ecosystems are among the most complex. Innovations emerge from a dynamic interplay from various sources driven by the collective efforts of diverse stakeholders within the healthcare ecosystem. Research and development conducted by academic institutions, research centers, and for-profit companies is a primary catalyst. The growing influence of technology and data in healthcare has given rise to a new wave of innovations. Startups and incubators play a crucial role, offering a fertile ground for experimenting with novel ideas and disruptive technologies. Overall, the landscape of healthcare innovation is multifaceted, with contributions coming from many sources.
So how can we manage through all these various players, ensure that we bring the best innovations to the market, and also do so with haste and urgency?
We need to create strong collaborations between players. I tend to think about the collaborative ecosystem in two buckets. The first encompasses knowledge and talent, or collectively, brains. These are our inventors, our entrepreneurs, and our clinical experts. These are the folks whose brains hold the key to unlocking the future of healthcare innovations. These include the students and faculty at our universities and medical schools, our collective teams at our hospitals and our healthcare systems, and individual entrepreneurs, inventors, and innovators. The density of knowledge and talent these individuals bring to an ecosystem is critical for its success. These people will create the new ideas and, equally as important, help validate the new ideas. As much as we need new ideas, we also need experienced leaders to provide critical feedback, serve as champions in their networks, and guide innovations to the decision makers who can move advancements forward. One of the most powerful ways that a clinician can support innovation is by lending just a brief portion of their time and honest feedback. By making themselves available to an entrepreneur or inventor, an idea can be validated or invalidated. We want the highest potential ideas moving forward so that we don't drain resources from the already competitive ecosystem. The second group includes the champions, conveners, and support systems, or who I refer to as people motivated by others' success. These include your economic development professionals, mainly incubators, innovation hubs, and accelerators, but it can also include government staff or regional economic development organizations. People who work in this space are only successful when their clients are successful. So they're motivated to make things happen for them. They're natural conveners of people, networks, and the broader ecosystem, and can generally help to provide access to shared resources, including research facilities, databases, funding opportunities, and specialized equipment. This access allows innovators to overcome financial and logistical barriers, promoting more efficient and cost-effective launches. This group also includes universities, hospitals, and healthcare systems, but with a focus on the administrators and the business decision makers. These are folks who set strategies, craft policies, and make guidelines that embrace innovation and support the growth of the research enterprise. They encourage their teams to take risk, to lend a helping hand, and to think about the big picture. New inventions, patents, and startups can yield licensing revenue back to the institution. So supporting innovation is truly a win-win scenario. I also include business advisors, mentors, consultants, and professional service providers in this category. These folks can often be accessed through incubators or accelerators, reducing the overhead expenses associated with launching a startup. And whether they're accessed through an incubator or a fee-for-service engagement, these folks have significant understanding of bringing products to market, navigating regulatory pathways, supporting intellectual property protection, and helping to determine if a product might be reimbursable through insurance providers. They play a vital role in sharing their knowledge with entrepreneurs while also connecting them to broader networks. Finally, an ecosystem needs funders to support the earliest stages of commercialization. Oftentimes, this begins with government funding coming from state or federal commercialization grants. It also needs angel investors, individuals who believe early in the value of innovations. And it needs formal venture and equity investors who also have the networks and access to other resources to move the innovation forward. All of these individuals and entities play a role in a healthcare innovation ecosystem. It's nearly impossible to go at this work alone. That's why it's critical to build relationships and collaborations. It's not to say that every one of these players has to be connected to every other one of these players, but when you're connected to one, you're indirectly connected to the rest. A high-functioning innovation ecosystem works like the network effect. The more parties that are involved in the work and connected to one another, the higher value and utility the ecosystem provides to its individual players. This is where collaborations come into play. When strong, trusted relationships exist between the players of an ecosystem, it becomes easier and faster to navigate. You eliminate the steps you need to actually take to get to your next meaningful step. This is why collaboration is essential to accelerate healthcare innovation. I don't have to tell this audience that the United States healthcare system is complex. That's probably being generous. Because of this complexity, the process to commercialize a healthcare technology is not straightforward, particularly as compared to other industries. That's because you don't just have one customer to create alignment with. You have several, and each have a different priority. For example, a solution and its value propositions have to align with patients, physicians, and other care providers, hospitals, administrators, and ultimately insurers. These competing interests aren't always clear or permanent. It's critical to have support along the pathway to understand how to navigate the potential roadblocks. Entrepreneurs go through the validation process by performing customer discovery, a series of several, literally hundreds of interviews with potential and real customers. These steps always get progressively more difficult, and only the most successful ideas truly validate the business model fit. But this challenge is dramatically exacerbated by the complexities of our healthcare system. In a collaborative ecosystem, entrepreneurs and founders can receive guidance to anticipate and address the reasons that disruptions occur in the transition from one stage to the next. Challenges and needs are abundant in healthcare, but ensuring that your solution agrees with all of these stakeholders in the decision-making chain across the stages of commercialization is virtually impossible without support.
Navigating through such a complex environment is never easy, but there are steps entrepreneurs can take to still the waters.
At the earliest stage, problem-solution fit, a founder discovers a deep customer problem in an underserved market and has created a solution in which they believe outperforms the current solution. This is a crucial early-stage concept in the development of a successful product or service, emphasizing the alignment between a company's proposed solution and the actual needs or pain points of its target audience. The business aims to validate the problem it seeks to address is a genuine and significant concern for its customers, and that their innovation actually becomes the proposed solution to that problem. Achieving this alignment involves thorough market research, customer feedback, and iterative development to ensure that the solution effectively resolves the identified problem. A collaborative ecosystem supports founders at problem solution fit by making introductions to potential customers and helping them identify early adopters, which are essential at this stage. Clinical leads who will both champion the solution and provide critical, relevant, and honest feedback quickly will help founders understand if their solution is worth taking it to the next level. Additionally, founders can access technical expertise or guidance. Founders and startups can't afford to hire all of the technical experts they possibly could on their team. So if you can tap into clinical expertise, it moves the needle forward. When you achieve problem solution fit, you should have some early evangelists who will work to support and champion and advocate for your solution. For product market fit, things get a little trickier. The next stage represents the optimal alignment between the product or service and the needs and preferences of a specific target market. Achieving product market fit signifies that a company has developed a solution that resonates with its intended customer base, creating a harmonious match between what the product offers and what the market demands. This alignment goes beyond simply having a functional product that solves a problem. It implies that the value proposition, features, and user experience of the product effectively address the pain points and requirements of the broader identified market segment. Product market fit is a dynamic state, and achieving it often requires continuous iteration, customer feedback, and fine-tuning to ensure that the product evolves in sync with the changing dynamics of the market it serves. Once achieved, businesses are better positioned to scale their operations, attract additional investment, and solidify their market presence. This is where we see a lot of companies make their first pivots. A collaborative ecosystem drives this knowledge gathering. It's essential to reach far and wide for feedback, so connections with ecosystem partners with broad networks are extremely valuable. And because time and funding is ticking away, it's important to move quickly so that iterations can be made and conversations can continue. It's here that access to venture and equity investments will be crucial to plan for the potentially long regulatory process. Founders rely on expert guidance to help navigate the regulatory systems and rules effectively, while understanding that their regulatory pathway also has implications on their go-to-market strategy. Access to affordable preclinical and clinical testing facilities, prototyping labs, early-stage manufacturing facilities, and investment help the startup spend its capital on building its team and its technology, both of which will be necessary to move to the next stage. Further, startups start the process of understanding the revenue model and the decision makers along the way for their purchasing journey.
Once the innovator knows what they are offering and to whom, they need to determine how to reach that market.
Getting to this point means that a startup has been able to access all of the players required to provide such a comprehensive understanding of its ability to deliver value to healthcare and its own venture, undoubtedly with the help of many collaborations built along the way. They've validated product market fit and moved forward to pricing models and understanding their reimbursement model and insurance codes. It's at this stage that we see a lot of our large healthcare innovation acquisitions. So leveraging the ecosystem's connection to venture, private equity, and particularly private industry is essential. The best part of companies reaching this stage is that our ecosystem generally gains another angel investor, an early startup evangelist, an entrepreneur who values the support the ecosystem provided to them and is ready to give back to the next early stage founder. I truly appreciate the time and attention you've given. I hope my passion for working together and the value it provides was demonstrated, and that I've inspired you to see how you can contribute to new innovations in your community.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of VITALS podcast. Be sure to visit NEOMED's YouTube channel to see the full 1-hour VITALS presentation, including the audience Q&A, which is moderated by Monica Robbins, Senior Health Correspondent at WKYC in Cleveland. Until next time.
This is VITALS, Visionary Health Leadership in Action.